hello visuals, you get a little knee slap to start this video off. Hello visuals, welcome back. Get my fucking, just spit. Hello visuals, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to no, it's not, no, naughty. It's Pokemon Thursday. I was a naughty little boy. So fucking cringe. Welcome back to Pokemon Thursday, the day that we would like to talk about what's underneath my hat. What is, oh, I was going to say a penis, because for a split sec there, it did look like a very girthy peni. A singular penis is this is a Pokemon video, Dan. Good job the videos are marked for 18 and over and shit, because we're talking about Pokemon, what the fuck? More specifically, we're here to I feel like I should have them spoon things here to be. More specifically, we're here to talk about another continuing series that we've been doing for years on the channel, and that's given a certain comic book character their very own Pokemon team. Once again, still don't know if I created this series for Superhero Wednesday or Pokemon Thursday. I ain't got a fucking clue. You'll have to let me know in the comments below if anybody you even want, if you care or remember. But anyway, yes, we're going to give another comic book character their very own Pokemon team. And this week, we're going to give Green Goblin, yes, the legendary, iconic Green Goblin, his very own Pokemon team. But visuals, remember, this is the video where a lot of you guys, well, I say a lot of you, it's usually James, but there's a few other people. You come on and you educate me and you school me and say, Dan, this Pokemon will be a better choice for such and such, or that Pokemon should have been, because you just, I don't know, you think more out of the box, you think more into their lore, you do a better job. I make a team, I'm like, I'm well happy with that, and you go, should have done that. I'm like, fuck. That's way better. So anyway, I want your comments, I want your thoughts, I want your opinions. I want to know who you would give the Green Goblin as a Pokemon, who you would give on the... Which Pokemon would you put on the Green Goblin's team? Why was that so hard to say? Shut your fucking face. Yes, who would you put on the Green Goblin's Pokemon team? But here is who I would put on the Green Goblin's Pokemon team. I've got my thoughts, I've got my reasons why and shit like that. So visuals already. Pokemon number 1. Who's that Pokemon on the Green Goblin's team? It's not that grand. We just do little divide things and then it's not like a grand. Here's his first mon. Fuck's sake. I think this one is just self-explanatory. It's Grimmsnarl, the Green Goblin, Goblin, the whole Goblin feature, aesthetic look, the hats, the ears. It is a Goblin. And the only real Goblin Pokemon, at least I can think of anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, is like the Grimmsnarls and all the Morgrems and all that shit. So Grimmsnarl's 100% got to be on there. You could see him. I don't know if he'd have his own hoverboard or if he'd go around, but you could see, oh, there's Spider-Man coming out. Grimmsnarl is like that. Oh yeah, Goblin, Grim, Goblin. Plus, if he wants to make a big boy version, he could be like, or he could be big boy version as Green Goblin's gliding around and flying around doing his shit. So yeah, Grimmsnarl, for being the fact that he's a Goblin, has to be on the team. It's self-explanatory. Next up, I've gone for Pumpkaboo. Yes, I could have went for Phantom, but Guyz. Sorry, not Phantom, Guyz. But I feel like Pumpkaboo fits the more mold of the Pumpkin Bomb a little bit more. Where Guyz, obviously, because it's sticking out a little bit, it's been a. Whereas he could chuck a load of Goblin bombs because obviously that's the most iconic, arguably the most iconic Green Goblin weapon he's got. So I could see him like, Goblin Bomb, Pumpkaboo. He's got an endless amount of Punkaboos, by the way. In his bag, we know the Green Goblin likes a little bag. It's just full of Pokeballs that contain Punkaboos. And they just chuck out, and then they explode. I don't know, because they can't learn explosion route, but they would explode because they're this Pumpkin Bomb. So he would do mass murder on Punkaboos. Punkaboos would not want to be caught by him because he's just going to genocide their entire species. But he's going to launch them at you. The Green Goblin has pumpkin bombs. We needed a pumpkin to be that main feature. You know, he's chucking them out and whatnot. There's a couple floating near him. Maybe they do like a shadow ball or some shit. They do some ghosty shenanigans to go alongside his generic, normal pumpkin bombs. But yeah, Pumpkaboo. If it should have been Guyz, let me know in the comments below. I just don't think it fits the design. Well, obviously the design is fine, but the tall, long bit, I don't think it works as well. But let me know in the comments below. I wanted something that was, anti-spider, something that's notorious or well known, or at least, well, as I say well known, I didn't know this, I had to do some Googling. Something that would hunt spiders naturally in the wild, and that is centipedes. So I've gone for the one and only Scolipede, because centipedes, not all centipedes, but a lot of centipedes actually eat spiders in the wild. So we need to be like, here's a Scolipede, and Spider-Man's like, fuck, they eat spiders in the wild, sort of kind of shit. Plus, I knew I wanted a bug of some kind on the Green Goblin's team. Like, if you imagine, like, a real goblin flying around, you can imagine him having pockets full of bugs. He's like, hey, kids, do you want some candy? And he chucks them, like, a ball of worms or some shit. Bugs and worms, aren't they? I think they're bugs. So I wanted a bug on the team anyway. But the fact that a real-life centipede would sometimes eat a real-life spider, I thought Scolipede, you know, it looks the part. It kind of looks the thingy. There's purple and whatnot in there, so it kind of looks right. You can also see him as he's doing his thing, like tinkering around with his jet or doing his scheming or whatever. You can see a Scolipede running around his lair or his den or wherever he may be at the time. You could see one roaming around somewhere, or maybe a few of them, or maybe a few Venopedes getting ready to evolve and stuff like that. So I think the whole aesthetic reason definitely works. Plus, there's some real-life nature lore there. This one is more because I love the idea of the two teaming up. If you imagine, it's Darkrai, and I think I've got the shiny GIF as well. He probably hasn't got a shiny, but that's the only one I could get. If you say that Green Goblin is kind of technically, I guess, you know, Spider-Man, Green Goblin, Batman, Joker, that means the Green Goblin and Joker would be somewhat of a counterpart. Maybe in a weird world if I'm bending the rules a bit too much here, but I've gone for the idea of a nightmare. There's so many instances where, like, if you go back to just take a look at the Sam Raimi Spider-Man film where Aunt May wakes up and she sees the face of the Green Goblin, it's horror and death, and she's absolutely terrified. And a lot of people freaked out and scared by the look of it. Because, you know, Goblin, especially the classic sort of Green Goblin, the way he looks, it kind of looks Halloween-y, spooky, scary. I wanted this nightmare-fueled Pokemon to tag along with him to just sort of install even more fear. Because, one, the people of New York are already terrified because the Goblin's gliding around doing shit. But to see the actual nightmare Pokemon coming along with him, just sort of chucking out and doing his shit, I want 110%. I love that idea. I love that aspect. So Darkrai's just chilling alongside of him. Maybe they met up and they're like, well, let's do a partnership. I want to install fear. You've got nightmare shenanigans. Let's just make it nowhere, even in the sleep world, safe for people of this city. I like the idea. I like the combination, but let me know in the comments below. The next two aren't necessarily for the Green Goblin. They're for the counterpart, Norman Osborn. And Norman can sometimes be good, but we've also seen him be a horrible bastard many a time. Now, it's Houndoom. And the reason why I've gone for that is if you go for the classic Giovanni look, because sometimes Giovanni has looked very Norman Osborn-y, Norman Osborn-y, but in some of the comics and whatnot. The idea of Giovanni sat there with a Persian and whatnot. I like the idea of going Alchemax and seeing Norman in his office or whatever he's doing, or if he's not doing some science shit, there's a Houndoom just sort of chilling by his side, and he's sort of chilling in some sort of shelf. He goes to the board meetings and whatnot, and he's just chilling in his chair, and there's a Houndoom that just walks in. I feel like it fits the time of Norman great. He gets let out of his limo. He's dropping Harry off at school or wherever the fuck he's doing, but there's the Houndoom just sort of chilling in the back with him. And you're like, oh, fuck. This is a businessman that you do not want to fuck with. He's carrying a fucking demon fire hell dark dog. The Houndoom is a perfect fit for Norman Osborn. Finally, I think I've gone for the shiny gift as well again. I've written my notes. Yeah. This one is Deoxys. Now, again, I'm going kind of with Norman Osborn. As you can tell, I was running out of ideas what to do for the Green Goblin, so please let me comment below. But I thought, you know, the Norman Osborn counterpart of the Green Goblin is a huge part of it anyway. But Deoxys, being from space, the idea, we know that Norman's had, you know, he's a scientist, he's relatively, well, he's quite smart and stuff, and he's got experiments and certainly on that, tests on this, or in different versions of the spider story, he might be testing on venom and shit like that. But the idea that, you know, they're sat in New York and he gets a signal, whatever, and there's this creature, it's like, we've been monitoring this creature thing for years, up in space, it's been hiding behind the moon or some shit like that, or whatever the story may be. And he wants to capture it and use it because he wants to replicate it somehow into the Goblin glider or the Goblin aesthetic itself, or he wants to control it and use it, or he might see it as a counterpart to, like, taking down a Venom or a Spidey or some shit, or the whole fact that because Deoxys not the DNA Pokemon, like, is it the DNA? Whatever, changing different aspects. We've got got the Deoxys different form changes and stuff. The scientist in Norman Osborn would definitely want this and want to test on it and study it and see if he can manipulate it and use it or create some sort of weapon for it, or see if he can create an anti-spider thing for it or an anti-whatever thing for it, or if he wants to go up against the Hobgoblin, whatever. I see Norman being extremely fascinated by Deoxys and wanting to take it and wanting to take control and do all that stuff with it. So yeah, for that reason, he's going to go up to space, he's going to find Deoxys, he's going to capture him, and he's going to do some Deoxys shenanigans. So yes, his final Pokemon, more because of Norman Osborn, Deoxys. And there we go, visuals. Hopefully the team is displayed somewhere down there. Yeah, Houndoom, Deoxys, Norman Osborn side sort of things. Darkrai, Nightmare Fuel and shit. Grimmsnarl, it's a Goblin. Punkaboo, of course it'll be Punkaboo. Who was our other one? Scolipede has this nice, juicy, horrible bug. Also wanted to latch on and suck up the insides of a spider and shit. I think it really works, especially if we take the Norman and Green Goblin the counterparts aspects of it. I think it's a cool team. I think it's a fitting team, but please let me know in the comments below who you would put on the team and who you would take out. And if you think some of my ideas there are shit, I will not be offended. You guys are a lot smarter than me. But yes, that's his team. We have visuals for another edition of Pokemon Thursday. If you did enjoy, please pop Booski and Chanuski. If you've got anybody that we haven't already done already, so if you've got, like, I don't know, Homelander or fucking the Scarecrow or Clayface or whoever the fuck you want, as long as they're like a comic booky OG sort of nerdy character, let me know in the comments below. We'll see if we can make a team for them, because they are really fun videos to do and I do really enjoy them. And like I said, it's more important because I love reading the comments about who you would change and who you would swap it and stuff. Because if you want to go down the Norman route, there's a lot more Pokemon you could have chucked in. What you could have just went for a straight up Persian if you wanted. I just think Houndoom fits it, obviously dark type in, and Norman's got this dark side to him, being the Green Goblin and shit like that. So let me know in the comments below, visuals, but more importantly, thank you so much for watching. You guys are literally the fucking best. We're always keep there and keep on keeping on.